to, post-grad or want to do their further education, then you realize that, that's when you're on your test. That's when your test is there. That are you going to, which side? What are you going to do? What are you going to give into? What are you actually going to do? So here Rasulullah says that the fifth greatest sin that a person can commit is dealing in interest. And the verse that I mentioned, that using adultery and using interest, giving or taking, is equivalent to going in the battlefield of Allah. This is the verse of the Quran that فَإِن لَمْ تَفْعَلُوا فَأْذَنُوا بِحَرْبٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. Yeah, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that وَذَرُوا مَا بَقِيَ مِنَ الرِّبَا إِن كُنتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ فَإِن لَمْ تَفْعَلُوا, that leave all the interest that you're involved in. If you're involved with interest and you didn't know that it was haram, leave it right now. Because the Sahaba, they were dealing with interest as it was, and the verse was revealed. Now leave all the interest you're involved with and stop all those transactions immediately, get out and quit. And if you refuse to leave these transactions, then indeed, فَأْذَنُوا بِحَرْبٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ, then be ready to announce and wage war against Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. If you're dealing in interest, put it this way, let me put it in easy terms for you. If you're dealing in interest, there is no possible way to have barakah in what you're doing. Because Rasulullah and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are not on your side, they're right on the other side of it. Put it in simple words for you. You understand? فَأْذَنُوا بِحَرْبٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. It's as if you're waging war against Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Okay, the next thing, that eating the wealth of an orphan. Obviously, an orphan child, he doesn't have any money, weak, young child. The father, before passing away, he left some money for the child. And this oppressor, this Berahim, merciless individual, he's going and he's taking away the money of this young child, the orphan child, and spending it. That's also a major sin. And then وَإِلْحَادُ فِي الْمَسْجِدِ, to transgress in the masjid, shout, scream, making noise, arguing in the masjid. This is a major sin here. One is making partners with Allah, 2, killing, 3, running away from a battlefield, 4, accusing a person of adultery, 5, dealing in interest, 6, eating the wealth of an orphan. And what's the 7th thing? Transgressing in the masjid. Transgressing in the masjid, what does that mean? Transgressing in the masjid means doing anything that you're not supposed to be doing in the masjid. So then the question is, what do we do in the masjid? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فِي بُيُوتٍ أَذِنَ اللَّهُ أَن تُرْفَعَ وَيُذْكَرَ فِيهَا اسْمُهُ. That the purpose of the masjid is to use this area to engage in the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Anything outside of that should not be permitted when it comes to the masjid. Nothing should be permitted. If a person has an argument or something, they should go outside the masjid. If there's some discussion a person wants to make, go outside the masjid. Umar radiallahu anh, during his khilafah, outside the masjid he had a little courtyard. Like a little sitting room. That if someone wants to come to the masjid, but they want to talk, don't talk in the masjid, go outside the masjid and go talk in that courtyard there. Don't come inside the masjid and talk. So if a person isn't even allowed to talk, useless things, arguing, swearing, fighting, and all these other things, they cannot be allowed in the masjid at all. Not permissible. Al-had fil masjid. And then the 8th thing that is mentioned here is that, mocking someone, making jokes out of another person, this is also considered a major sin. Because many times you may joke or make fun of a person, and you may not realize how badly you just hurt that person's heart. Sometimes simple words can break a person's heart. And you may have no idea that you just hurt this person. There's an Arabic saying, right? جراحات اليد له الالتيام ولا يلتئم ما جرح اللسان. That if you go and hurt a person with your hand, if you go and injure a person, جراحات اليد, the wound that is given to the hand, له التيام, there is a cure for it. You can go to the doctor, he'll give you stitches, he'll do this, that for you, maram patti, and he'll cover it up, okay? ولا يلتئم ما جرح اللسان, however, there is no cure for that wound which is given to the tongue. You could be very close to someone, but once you hurt that person with your tongue, then there is no cure to that at all. Then that word remains in that person's heart. And no matter how many times you confront that person and you smile and you joke, but the reality is once you've said something to that person will never forget that thing. So the thing here, Rasulullah mentioned that joking. Even sometimes when a person is joking, you make, sometimes when I was young, I remember when I was young, I was a round ball, really round in shape. I was really overweight and short guy. I wasn't tall. I was really short and really round in every aspect, in every angle. So people used to always call me fatty, right? Oh, little fat boy, chubby boy, and all the different names they thought of. Someone used to call me Laddu, someone called me this, all the million names they called me. But these people didn't know that I was very emotional. And I would come back and I'd be crying that, oh, these people call me Laddu, this guy called me this guy called me that, this guy made fun of me like this. So sometimes you're saying things, but you don't realize, right? And then I grew tall and someone called me a lamppost. And then I realized that there's no way I'm making it through this from here. My teacher used to make a lot of fun of me. I was really close to him. So he used to say, मैं तुम्हें एक joke सुनाता हूँ, सुनो. I'll say it in Urdu, then I'll translate it. He made a joke of me, so I'll just say it. He said that Hussain जब सब्जी बाजार गया था तो उसने पूछा कि ये अंगूर कितने के हैं? तो सामने वाले ने कहा वो लंबे बेवकूफ नीचे आके देखो ये तरबूजा है. He used to make fun of me. He used to say that when Hussein went to the market, he asked the person that how much are these grapes for? The person behind the counter said, "Oh idiot, look down, these aren't grapes, these are actually watermelons." So that's when I realized that there's no way I'm ever going to make anyone happy, whether it be tall, whether it be skinny, whether it be round and fat. When you're short, it doesn't make a difference. People aren't going to be happy with you. You have to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So sometimes when you joke, the point that I was making, and this is a reality, it's a joke to the side. One thing that's, that joke, my Ustad Sheikh Bilal said, he must have said that to me multiple times per day sometimes. He used to say the same joke multiple times per day. So anyway, so وَالَّذِي يَسْتَسْرِقْ, making jokes of people. You know, if you don't know where the boundaries are, then don't do it. Do you understand? Because when you start making jokes of people, some people, what happens, they make jokes of one or two people and then they think they're masters in it. And they keep going and going and going. And any person they see, they're just, ranting away and joking and joking and joking, making fun of every person. You have to bear in mind that if you hurt someone's feeling, then that's not the right thing to do. Because then that person, sometimes he can make dua against you. You don't know which word of yours is going to hurt a person. The last and the ninth thing that Rasulullah said to the Sahaba as the great and major sin is to make your parents cry out of disobedience. This is the ninth major sin. What is the ninth major sin? Ji, bolo, bolo. To make your parents cry out of disobedience. Ji, bilkul say that's right. To make your parents cry out of disobedience, this is the ninth major sin. And this is why Imam Bukhari brought this hadith here. Now I just want to finish off the translation of the hadith. So then Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu said that do you wish to stay away from the fire of hell and enter into paradise? He's telling this person. So the story, what happened is that the person came, he said, I committed sins. Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu said, he said that my sins were so great, they're major sins. Ibn Umar said, okay, what were the sins that you committed? He told him the sins, and Ibn Umar said, no, these aren't major sins, there are 9 major sins. And after going through the 9 major sins, he then told this person that, do you want to stay away from the fire of hell and enter into paradise? Is this what you want? What you want in your life is to stay away from the fire of hell and enter into paradise. Is this what you want? So the person said, wallah, in Arabic means na'am. Yes, wallah, this is exactly what I want. I want to stay away from the fire of hell and I want to enter into paradise. So then, Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu says to him that, Ahayyun walidak, are your parents alive? He said, in the ummi, my mother is alive, my father passed away. My father is with me. So then Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhu says to this person, subhanallah, beautiful. Wallahi, law alanta laha al-kalam. First of all, Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu takes an oath. Wallah, I take an oath. What I'm saying is definite and I have no doubt in this. لو ألنت لها الكلام, if you can make your words soft and kind for your mother. Okay? So there's one group of people that actually go and beat their mothers up. May Allah forgive them and grant mercy to them. And grant them understanding. But every single person is beating their mother up with their tongue. They're using their tongue as a whip and they're just whipping that lady because she loved them so much. They're using that wet tongue of theirs and they're whipping that lady's emotions just because her crime was that she loved that child so much that she won't say anything in return. Okay? So, Ibn Umar says that, Wallahi, I take an oath in the name of Allah, لَوْ أَلَنْتَ لَهَا الْكَلَامِ, if you can make your words soft and kind for him. It's toned down, just tone down a little. You know what I'm saying? Tone down with your mother. And then he says, وَأَطْعَمْتَهَا الطَّعَامِ, and you feed your mother. Go and feed your mother. So, now what does feed your mother mean? Muhaddithin have explained. First group would say, go and earn for your mother. The second say, prepare food for your mother. And the third group would say, actually take that food and put it inside her mouth. As Joduka Ghulam would take that food and put it inside his wife's mouth, and the wife would take that food and put it inside the husband's mouth, go home and put some food inside your mother's mouth too. Okay? لَتَدْخُلُنَّ الْجَنَّةَ مَجْتَنَبْتَ الْكَبَائِرِ. He said, then you will enter into paradise without any doubt at all, as long as you stay away from the major sins. So how many things did he tell the Sahabi to do? 2 things. He told him to stay away from 9 things, and he said, do 2 things. And the 2 things were, what were the 2 things? And we'll end the session with this. The first thing was, go no Nabi. Feed your mom. And that was the second thing. What was the first thing? Be soft to your mother when you're speaking to her. Be soft. Practice it. For the next week, the next week that's coming, try to practice how to be soft to your mother. All these hadith that we're reading.